I like the hair.
Oh, thank you.
You're
I don't
welcome.
know how is it normally, but sometimes I straighten it, sometimes I curl it. Today I just blew it dry. But thank you. You're lucky. You get to just wear hats.
There you go. There you go.
Great to see you on a Sunday afternoon. We got a pretty big slate of games, and a lot of things have happened, Scoop, in the NBA since the last time I saw you. Like the fact that the Bucks have won 4 games in a row.
What about those Heat, Lisa Ann?
What about those Heat? Are you feeling bubble heat happening right here? Is this like bubble heat? Are we getting bubble heat back? Remember how good the Heat were in the bubble, Scoop?
They were bubblicious. I think when you look at the Miami Heat, Lisa, and you remember, I mean, this was a team that was going against the Bucks, and everybody, the team you talk about, the Bucks were a favorite. It was a lot to be that team that was going to go to the finals and take on the Lakers. It was going to be LeBron and Giannis. And Jimmy Butler had other plans. What's up, Jarvis Green? But ultimately, what happened was when it all came down to it, the Heat couldn't get it done. The Lakers were just rested, and they had a better roster. And a lot of behind the scenes things as it relates to Miami Heat, looking to make some moves, will and deal. But they're winning right now, and they've got a healthy squad. So Dragic is healthy, Jimmy Butler's healthy. But when you talk about the Bucks, really and truly, 4 straight. They're about to get their point guard back in the next game or so. So there's a lot of variables there, and I think the Bucks are where they need to be. The Lakers are trying to get on the right track after beating the Blazers on Friday night after a 4-game losing streak. So
yeah, I mean, still, if you looked at it overall, the last 5 games for the Lakers, they have still lost their last 4 out of 5. Yes, we've got a win under our belt, which is great. But
right.
Schroeder coming back is the difference maker. I just felt, LeBron's just trying to do too much without Schroeder. So Schroeder coming back, big help for the Lakers. Let's talk about it for a couple of games in order. I'm going to give you the lines. We're going to talk about it with our viewers. We're going to have them debate. What are they feeling? What are they thinking? Also, we should shout out Luka. It's Luka's 22nd birthday today. Happy 22nd birthday after you just beat the Nets and knocked them off their 9-game win streak.
Yes, and I got to shout out Freebird 497. He's our sound checker.
He's our sound checker.
Happy birthday to Luka Doncic and Freebird. Thanks for the sound check. So yeah, man, it's crazy that he's only 22 years old.
And to think he's only 22 years old on my fantasy basketball team. And how many years we could potentially be watching Luka in the NBA, which is really exciting. The first game up, which has started right now, which is crazy you and I aren't watching, we're talking. The Clippers taking on the Bucks. Total points right now. I think the Bucks feel on themselves. The Clippers want to knock them off. Total points at Bovada is 232. You think we got it over, or you think we got it under? The win right here goes plus 105 to the Clips and minus 125 to Milwaukee.
I got the Clippers in this game.
Ooh, you think the Milwaukee? Okay, I can see it. I mean, I'm not expecting Milwaukee to stay on this win streak, and we know that the Clippers just have more pieces, have more value. They're just a better team, no matter what. The hot streak or not, they're the better team. Okay, I'm going with you. What do you all think right there? What do you all think? Are you agreeing with us? I see you all commenting. We are taking the Clips for the win today in this game that's happening right now. Total points for the over. What do you all say right here, right now? We've got another one. The Wizards taking on the Celtics. We got, it's nice we get to watch one standalone game, but then we get all these other games at the same time. We get a 7 o'clock start with the Wizards and the Celtics, 2 teams that are lukewarm at best. Total points right now up about is 232.5, plus 210 for the Wizards to win, and minus 250 for the Celtics.
Minus 250 for the Celtics.
I agree. And that's where that number is. When you see that number, it's obvious, right? If they get the books don't lie. So, and also the Wizards have just been, God, I mean, the Celtics brought a streak too up until about 2 weeks ago, and that's not happening. But now we're going to go to the game you want to talk about the most. It's going to be the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Miami Heat, 8 o'clock tonight. Total points 225, plus 140 for the Hawks to get the win, and minus 160 for the Heat to get the win.
I actually think the Hawks are going to win tonight.
You do?
Lisa Ann.
Is it a hunch feeling, or is it just because this is the matchup that you know they'd how to play each other that well?
Exactly that. I said what I said.
Jay Ware says he thinks the Heat are going to win this one just because the hot streak that the Heat are on. but you think it's going to cool down. This is great. We've got a lot of engagement. If you all feel what you're feeling, you go and make that rain at Bovada. You know, I can see it as well.
And I'll add this. Jimmy Butler is listed as questionable for today's game.
I hate this. So stressful. Because it's so hard to make a play when you see Jimmy Butler as questionable.
But Trae Young is questionable too. So I think it's going to go to the Hawks. Well, actually, I just looked. He's upgraded to probable. So if it's questionable Jimmy and it's probable Trae.
And here's what's interesting about these two. The way the NBA schedule is this year is so different than other years in the past. They play each other today, Atlanta at Miami. And then they play each other again on Tuesday, Atlanta at Miami. And what we're seeing is, though you think you're going to watch a duplicate game 24 hours later, that is not the case, Scoop.
It's almost like baseball. I've used this analogy all season. I know on Sirius you had my cousin Gary Sheffield Jr. on your show the other day, blood cousin Gary Sheffield Jr. We were talking about, they often talk about how basketball is like baseball now, where you have, like his dad, if he played for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays and, they played the Yankees, they'll stay in New York for a week and play a bunch of games. Tampa Bay might win tomorrow, the next day the Yankees could win that one and then another one. So basketball is like baseball right now, where you have all of these visits, completely different games. Normally in past pre-COVID, we'd see like home and home, like a quick weekend, like you might go to Charlotte and play tonight, and then Charlotte flies to New York and then plays them on Monday or Tuesday. But you're seeing home and homes. That's different this year.
And it's different because you would think the obvious assumption would be this team that isn't traveling, that's home now for 3 nights in a row, they're definitely going to play better because they have this advantage, right? And we also thought we'd have lower scoring games this season in general in the NBA. And that's why a lot of parlays you're seeing put in over. What we're seeing is just less defense. It's not like it's less offense. And we thought, okay, well, there's going to be less travel for the players in general, less adjusting, getting into a hotel, getting settled, going over here. That's not the case. It's really not making that much of a difference. It's only making a difference where I see they're just playing less defense.
Yep, we're on the same page, Miss Lisa Ann.
So the next game up on the slate after the Heat is the Warriors-Lakers. Can you imagine 2 years ago how exciting this matchup was? You wouldn't have missed this game. Like, you'd have stopped anything. You had a wedding to go to. You're like, I don't know, the Warriors play the Lakers. I can't go to this wedding today. Now we're like, Warriors-Lakers. Is it as exciting? No. The total points is only 220 for this game. It's plus 130 for the Warriors to take the win. It's minus 150 for the Lakers to take the win. Lakers do have Schroeder back. Still do not have Anthony Davis back.
He won't be back for a while.
I know.
When you look at this game, I have it. Somebody said no Davis Warriors +3.
This is Jay Ware. This is his call. He's also betting against us on the Heat. He's definitely betting against us. But
I got the Lakers winning tonight.
They know this matchup so well. They've played each other, just the Warriors have their moments. Draymond had a huge game the other night. But we know 17 assists. You know what? This is the first year I'd have Day on my fantasy basketball team, and it bums me out because I didn't go for it to try to switch it up. You get repetitive, you draft players, you're like, but it's the other categories that he stacks in your league that you just cannot get from anybody else. I mean, you might get 5 players in a week total up that many assists total. But he gets all those assists in one night.
Part of it has a lot to do with the big man being out there, rookie big man being out for some time. And he's kind of picking up those pieces.
He's a good facilitator. He's a great facilitator. I mean, you don't draft Draymond Green in your fantasy league for points. You draft him for everything else he does. Steals, blocks, assists. Warriors, because Draymond is back. Nick is going for the Warriors in this one. Lakers the Warriors. Go ahead.
Nick is also a Sixers fan, so you have to kind of...
We got to give him a little curve.
He's hoping that Kelly Oubre finds his way to Philadelphia. So,
everybody's out like praying at night before they go to bed of all these players, whether it be NBA or whether it be NFL. We got free agency starting in the NFL. All these things are happening. We're all praying for it. But okay, Nick, we love that you are he's fading the Lakers money line. So D-Beck says he is fading a lot of fouls and shooting. Okay, so You're going with the Lakers in this one. I'm also going to go with the Lakers. I think that, LeBron really got a little help back with Schroeder. He wants to stay on that momentum. He's not going to just lag. He's not going to give it up. So we're both going with those. Now, total points, LeBron's putting it up. Schroeder's going to put up, 16, 17 points tonight. I think 220 is pretty low. So I'd go for the over on this one, too, at Bovada.
I think LeBron's going to put up 30.
Okay.
30 points. 9 rebounds, 12 assists.
By the way, Nick says, thank you, Mr. Robinson. The next game of the night, which you were in your feelings last night about the celebration outside of MSG, which I completely understand. I saw it on the timeline. I get it. I get it. Listen, I get it. It's just, it's just, this is what's going to happen. And it's even funny. I traveled this weekend. I flew out to LA. The airports are cleaner than you've ever seen. They're completely empty and dead. And everybody's very mindful because now it's federal law. The flight attendants don't have to argue with people anymore. It just is what it is. So it kind of feels like the safest place to be because nobody wants to lose their right to fly. And you lose your right to fly when you break this law and don't wear a mask. So it just becomes a very easy place to be because everybody's following the rules. Everything's super clean and so very, very different. So we'll talk about this Knicks game. That was the interesting thing as we opened up Knicks to start having fans, even though you have to either provide a COVID test or a vaccination card. We're still at such minimal things for other things in New York. It just seemed very odd. We have restaurants that are only at 25%. As small as they are, that might be like 3 tables.
CC Sabathia was sitting courtside at that Nets Mavericks game last night.
Yo, the Nets games are a totally different thing than the MSG games for the Knicks. They're charging a baller amount, but you get a great setup. Your food is brought to you. I already looked into it, but it is G money, okay? It is G money. Next up is the Knicks at the Pistons. Total points at Bovada is 211. This is how little faith the bookmakers have in the total. 211. This is the lowest scoring game on the schedule for today. Right now it is minus 120 for the Knicks to win. It is completely even for the Pistons.
I have the Pistons winning tonight.
I gasped because the Pistons are on a bit of a hot streak, and I should lay off the fact that before this trip, the Knicks were on a hot streak because they don't stay on one. I have to remember that just because I was not watching and paying attention for 72 hours, a lot has happened. I'm going to go with you on that one. I'm going to go with the Pistons for that same reason. Cuban was in the building too. That's awesome.
Yes, he was. Landon Buford checking in Dallas.
So, what's up, Landon? How are you today? The Knicks have the best defense and the worst offense. Those are not good combos, but other teams know that. The Phoenix Suns taking on the Timberwolves tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Total points right now is 225. It's minus 550 for the Suns, plus 375 for the Timberwolves.
At the Timberwolves tonight.
You do?
Yeah.
So what is your lean? Because who are you looking? I mean, is it the lack of depth in Phoenix that concerns you compared to the Timberwolves? Because when you look at, man, I know Chris Paul's been hot or cold, but man, Booker's been so hot.
That's just the hunch I get. I think sometimes those Sunday games are very lax games.
You're right.
I don't have a rhyme or reason to it. That's just what my instincts tell me.
And Phoenix did travel. I'll tell you when they're playing them again. They did travel. That is a east to west. So the time zone does kind of. It's always tougher going from the west to the east than it is for players going from the east to the west.
It's interesting. I remember a couple seasons ago, I was at a Nets Suns game, and I remember the Suns were like in double or triple overtime.
By the way, Jay just brought up they just played the Wizards last night as well. He's right. I just went in it. So go on.
No, thanks for that insight. It could be a lazy win, Jay Rose was said. So I remember a few years, and this is the instinct that I had. I remember a few years ago, I went to a Nets Suns game, and the Suns were on a road trip. They had actually played the Wizards the night before. If I'm not mistaken, it was a double or triple overtime game.
Oh, so they were just exhausted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That extra 30 minutes of play. And then also it reroutes every rushing thing they have to do to fly out and get into the next city by the right amount of time.
And Washington is one of those quick trips to New York. Like that, it's like a pain in the butt to just get on the plane.
Right. So it's easier to take a train, but I know players don't do that, right? But for me, it's easier to take a train.
They do. Not now, but they do. And I remember talking to Jamal Crawford, who was playing on the team at the time before the game. He's like, man, I think I'm going to get more playing time tonight because, we just played the Wizards, and he started at point, and he played most of the game, and they still lost to Brooklyn, an underhanded Brooklyn team. The Nets weren't expected to win that game. And so when you asked me that question about the Suns and the Timberwolves, I got flashbacks to that conversation because I just think like it was a Sunday night, and those Sunday night games, when you've been traveling and all those other factors there, those are the wins that sneak up on you. It's like that third or fourth cup of wine.
Yeah, the third or fourth. Yeah, they'll play up or down to their competition,
Right.
And they know what else they have going on in their week. So I'm going to go with you on the last game on the slate tonight. The 10 o'clock game, the least exciting game, which makes me happy because I can go to bed. You know what I mean? I'll preview it in the morning. I record the late night games. I watch them in the morning because you can fast forward. But am I really going to make myself stay up with the Charlotte Hornets, the Sacramento Kings? I am not. I'm just not.
Hornets.
Okay, this is a high scoring game though. What's crazy about this? Because there's no defense on either team. No defense. So we're giving them more credit than anybody else in this whole slate. 236 total points. 236 total points. The next closest game to that is the Wizards Celtics at 232.5.
I like the Hornets in this game. I like
Hornets are plus 130. I like where you're going on that too. Hey Scoop, it's Miss B from Dyckman Basketball.
Dyckman, yes.
Dyckman, hi.
Well, hey Miss B.
Hey Miss B, what's going on? It's so funny. I just met a girl in my building who shoots hoops, and I've been trying to meet her, but I didn't want to start apartment knocking. It just so happened to cross paths in the elevator when I was getting my groceries from downstairs, and she's like, oh, I love to play hoops. And so we exchanged information because I'm like, oh my gosh, I love to play too. And she's like, it'd be nice to have somebody to shoot around with. So I'm like, I was so excited. Like, Sunday accomplishments, I made a friend who I could play basketball with in my building.
Kudos. Did you play in high school?
All through high school.
What position did you
All
play?
through high school. We bounced a lot. I come from an Italian, Greek, and Lebanese town. None of us were tall. So we switched from point to center. Funny to see me even consider center. But again, I'm prefacing this with we did not have a lot of tall people, but I was the most aggressive. So that's where I became the good center. But I'm a better point. Hello, everyone, she says. Hello, everybody. What about the Rockets game? I did skip the Rockets game. Thank you, Jay. You are amazing. You are our help right here. All right, so 8:05 tonight. Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Houston Rockets. 223 is the total points. Minus 165 at Bovada for the Grizzlies to take the win, and plus 145 for the Houston Rockets. Who you got?
I got Memphis. I watched a little bit of Memphis and Dallas last week, and they lost. Memphis lost that game to Dallas, and it was really because of Tim Hardaway Jr. and Luka. Actually, less Luka, more Tim Hardaway. I think he had 29 in that game. I think Memphis is due a win. I think that Memphis, the combination of Ja Morant and others on that squad, I like them in that game against the Rockets. The Rockets have struggled a lot in the last 7 to 8 games, but I like Memphis today. I just do. Something tells me that the benefits Memphis.
So, let's talk about Ja Morant. Incredible player. Another young player that's going to be in the NBA for a long time.
Yes.
Do you feel he would have more value right now if he went to a bigger market? Because I feel that his games aren't as watched potentially. So people just you got to watch a player to really feel that love and go, this team is playing, but I don't like the team. But there's this one player. For me, for a long time with the Hawks, it was Dennis Schroeder. I loved watching Schroeder play. He's scrappy. He's aggressive. Do you think Morant is pulling people for more viewers, or do you think if he was in a bigger market, more people would be just talking about how great he is?
He likes where he is. Pre-COVID, I spent some time with Ja, and he has marveled at the spread that's out there in Memphis. He has the chance to kind of build his own identity and not, like some guys, big markets, you look at the Knicks, you got to...
Sure. Listen, Giannis is the same. He doesn't really want to be in the big market. He really enjoys the life that he has in the community, and you get to know, it's just smaller and more beautiful, and I can understand. Also, there's something to be said for your off-the-court lifestyle. I think as fans, we often forget that maybe there's parks or restaurants or things that you love where you live, and we don't take it into consideration.
And he's got a good family setup. His dad on my podcast, Scoopy Radio. His dad is a barber. He retired his dad. And he's from South Carolina, moved his family out to Memphis, and his dad, if I'm not mistaken, lives with him and helps him throughout his day-to-day.
That's fantastic.
That lifestyle that he enjoys, because it reminds him a lot of in South Carolina.
Yeah, good for him that he was able to do that, and that that they have a close enough relationship that they get along. And it's lonely being a celebrity. We saw that in The Last Dance, how Jordan spent so much time alone, didn't want to leave the hotel room because there's too many people at you at all times. So it's nice to have your person.
Little known fact: Ja Morant's dad was high school teammates with Ray Allen.
No way.
Yeah. And Ray Allen introduced Ja Morant to Big Papi David Ortiz at some award ceremony in Boston. And those guys have become mentors to Ja. That's part of Ja's process of kind of growing into the rookie of the year that he is now. He's had mentors that have helped him. I learned that recently. Ja and Ray Allen were high school teammates, though.
Okay, fun fact. The last time I saw Ray Allen, I was at the celebrity golf event in Lake Tahoe that takes place every July. And he was DJing on stage while Barkley was handing out beers to everybody.
Ray Allen was DJing?
Ray Allen was DJing, and Barkley was just handing out beers to everybody. And to see these two huge dudes having so much fun. Yeah, the celebrity golf event in Tahoe in July. So other than the Kentucky Derby or something, one of the most fun events I've ever been to, because it's so casual up there and it's all outdoors and it's all kind of like a small little Vegas. Everybody's going to casino to casino. You see everybody, and everybody's just having fun and just doing whatever they want. It's like the biggest athletes. You see Romo, he's just out in t-shirt and jeans, just drinking beers with everybody. Everybody's just super casual. It's so much fun.
Tell me something. What was Ray Allen's playlist like?
I don't remember. I just remember us all laughing so hard and being like, it was just like at the casino bar. He just hopped up on stage. It was a little DJ thing. So, and then the beers were coming and Barkley was handing them all out. But what game tonight are you most excited to be watching, Scoop?
The Lakers and the and the Warriors. And
do you have a team? Do you have a favorite NBA team, Scoop?
Not really. Growing up, I was a Bulls fan, obviously, because I started watching in '91. But most kids were.
Yeah, of course, me too.
As a child, the Nets gave me my first break doing radio as a kid at 12.
That's right.
So, I pay attention to the Nets. I pay attention to the Knicks. I like players. I like LeBron. I like Kyrie.
I'm the same. That's why fantasy sports works so well for me, because I really get to follow my individual players. And for all of you who want to learn more about Scoop, he's my guest this week for my podcast. So on Wednesday, you will get to hear our interview, our conversation, reminding everybody that we'll be back on again with you on Thursday at 5 p.m. on our regular Thursday. But your girl just asked, what do I think about going back into the building for live games? I think it's so great for the players. The players that I've been talking to are just we're so excited to have some energy inside. And I think it's great for us all to go out there and create some movement. Look, this is now an epidemic, right? This is no longer a pandemic. This is an endemic. We're going to have this in our lives forever. More people are getting vaccinated. We're learning how to manage this. But we have to start moving and doing the things that we love to do and doing the things that bring us joy. And for many people, that's going into an arena and watching a game. And now, truly, Scoop, the first time that we go to a game, it's going to feel to me like a gift. Like this is some awesome gift that we're now able to sit in here and hear the sneakers squeak in person and feel the energy and catch the refs, at a live game. I love catching players fighting with the refs for a minute after the play. You don't see that once the camera moves over here. It's just all the other stuff. So that was a great question for us. Appreciate you. I know that I'm going to be excited my first time.
When do you think you're going to make that trip?
I've been trying to get Knicks tickets every time they put some on sale, and they sell out in 10 minutes. And it's easy for me because I stay tested. So I test for COVID once a week. So I'm always ready to go. So as soon as I get that ticket, then I'll be like, okay, good, I can go. So ASAP.
I dig it. I dig it.
You know, I just got to get another friend who's staying on testing or has already had a vaccine. Like, it's all about that. But I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, the airport was so quiet this week for my trip. It was almost sad. I was like, okay, it's getting sad now to see everything. Like, the people that work there are bored instead of being so busy that everyone's staring at them. So I think it's great. I think it's great for the players. We're easing back into it. It's only 2,000 fans at MSG. You know what I mean? We're easing back in.
And the Knicks are a 500 basketball team. Who
they are?
Knicks in the Garden, March 15th, as my guy Dave Jones just told me in the comments. That's going to be a cool game to see.
That is a game that I may make a goal. You said March 15th. I will be writing that down later and making that a goal. And for everybody else, don't forget, we are here with you every Thursday at 5 p.m. We want you to go to Bovada, take some of our picks, or go against us. We really, Petra, good night. See you tomorrow. I have lots to share with you tomorrow. She's going to invite me once she's invited. Are you in New York? Oh, this is exciting. I got another.
Uptown, definitely. Street basketball once things open up.
Okay, great. I'm going to make sure I follow her. Make sure she hits me up on my real profile at Really Sad. It is SBond1. I will remember that. Scoop, it's always great to see you.
Always, man.
I love doing these with you. And I know that you and I will be sitting in front of our TVs now for the rest of the day.
Yes, we will, Batman. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.